Right. So, Mr. Scott, it looks like you and Ms. Krusich either are or were in a relationship,
We dated. We don't live together. Never have lived together.
but you dated.
A little bit. Yes, Your Honor.
And both she and Ms. Gogan work at DSHS.
Correct, Your Honor. But
Okay,
there's
as do you.
yes, 30 years.
Okay. And
So
are you in their supervisory chain of command?
can I explain that to you, Your Honor? So I work for the Office of the Secretary. Mrs. Gogan, her she's administrative assistant for our boss, who is the second in command of the whole department. Lisa Yanagita is the chief of staff. Okay. So that's where part of and where the problem lies is that per our administrative policy that I think I attached there for you to look at, she's violated that. And as I move forward and present a lawsuit and everything else, because in this, in some of the photos I sent you, um, she sent these memes and information around to the office. And if you see the one that I sent you, where it says in there, do you see who's on there? And I'm a coworker. Where she says, dude, I wouldn't normally message a coworker, but I can't stop laughing. So here it is in this office where you're the admin assistant to the second highest person in our administration. And now, how am I supposed to work with you every day and trust when you're discriminating and doing all these acts of inappropriate behavior in the workplace? And so, part of my action is I'm probably going to file a lawsuit against her. And so, I need that protection for me because, per our policy, this administrative policy, she's probably going to lose her job because of that. Um, she even the words that she uses where she knows what she's doing is right. I wouldn't normally message a coworker, but I can't stop laughing. Um, I'm and then even looking at this, she talks about how she's in this picture with her boyfriend, but she's on this single dating site just for kicks. And then the meme that she puts in there, where and she makes a comment and she's laughing her head off. Um, so uh, that that in itself, and then I'm the senior administrative officer there. I'm third from my boss in the department. I've been working for DSHS for 30 years, Your Honor. I've attained my MBA. I have a HRMS background. I have a Sigma SME. Um, I've been in the Army 20 years. Currently, I own my own business. All these things that she's doing uh, affect me greatly. And it's an issue and it's a concern. And once that lawsuit drops, it's going to be a problem. So that's the Gogan thing. And then if you look at the administrative policy on number 3, actions that violate this policy aren't limited. Um, Violations via phone, email, text, social media, electronic communication. Um, Such behavior can also be outside of work. Um, it specifically speaks to this in our administrative policy. Well, just so you know, Your Honor, can I speak, Your Honor?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.
So as to Ms. Gogan, your concern is about her posting something online.
Well, in the workplace. So,
Okay, and what about Ms.
let me finish this. Please, let me finish this.
Well,
So, I also have currently the Washington State Attorney General's office. I have a motion in with them because these folks are up. There are putting photos online without the permission of um,
who's doing it?
Are we dating him too? It's a site it's a group that's embedded into Facebook. And currently I have a with this attorney generals is to take that website down because they are putting males photos up without their permission, and there are women who are on there that are anonymous, so you don't know who it is. It could be any bandwagon person like Ms. Gogan, who's in a dating relationship, who jumps on there for giggles and can post anything she wants. There's not, it's libel and it's slanderous. And here I work with this person, and you're going onto a website like that where um, it's very libel and slander. So I'm working on doing that for that website. Mrs. Krusich, she was upset that I stopped dating her, and I sent her home one night. And then here, when you're looking at a couple of those, her first posting, she tried to be anonymous and said that this guy was trying to get me to go to work or to blah blah blah, and I sent the photos on there. It didn't look like I tried too hard to get her there. She looked pretty happy there. And then currently, not only does she work for DSHS, but she also has a few things of mine, and she's saying things that are disparaging on that website. And now she has her name on there, and she's identified me where I work, which is very slanderous. I'm currently in my position, I'm in the Army Reserves. I'm also a voting member for BHR in Olympia. And she knows several of those folks. So here it is, you're saying slanderous and libel things, and I could lose that spot, which is a very coveted position for me to be on a voting board here in Olympia. It took me a long time to get that position.
I don't think this is the process for you to achieve what you want to achieve. Because one of the things we don't do with the protection order process is keep people from saying bad things about other people. It's their First Amendment right. And so I get this all the time from people who say, you wouldn't believe what they say about me. None of it's true. And they post it on social media. They broadcast it to the world. They call me a pedophile. They call me this. They call me that. And we say, sorry, we can't do anything about that.
I agree with that, Your Honor.
So I don't know how I can do something about this.
For me, it's work. I have to.
Right, but that's
Ms. Goldie can't come.
No, I understand your position. This is you don't like it, and things should happen at work because she's violating work policy and so on and so forth.
So what if something happens, Your Honor?
Well, we can't do something proactively here. We can only do something if it meets the statutory requirements. So if she gets fired because you complain about her, whatever she posts about you, and she gets fired because she's violating the DSHS policy, which sounds like that potentially could happen. Then if she starts calling you and threatening you, then we can give you a protection order. But right now, you're just saying she's going online and telling the world that you are whatever she is, she's laughing at you or whatever she's doing. And the same for Ms. Krusich. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Yeah, and same for Ms. Krusich. They have the ability to do and say that. I can't tell them to stop. DSHS can. They can say you're violating our agency policy, and for doing so, here's the sanction, whether it's whatever it is, firing or loss of pay or give up your computer or whatever.
Right.
They can deal with that. I can't. This is not the appropriate procedure. You can file civil lawsuits against them for the damage
that's coming. Yeah, absolutely.
That's you feel has been caused to you, and your harm of your reputation and those things. Those are actionable potentially with a lawsuit, but this process isn't meant to address that. So you're not going to get any what we would call a remedy out of this. I can't give you anything that will address it. So I'm just going to enter denial orders on these and not send them for a hearing. For that reason, I'm not, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying that what you're having to deal with is too small for this or anything. It's just this is not the appropriate process for that.
That's fair. For me, it's about exhausting all my needs.
Yeah.
So
no,
it's not an end all for me. It's just another bullet in the process for me.
Yep, I get it. Certainly be frustrating to have a situation like that.
No, the frustrating part is that there are other males that I know that are Black males that are like me that have been dealing with this on these websites. And that's, I'm not sure. I think there's a point in there where Washington State is a two-party consent state. I just haven't dug it deep enough, but I believe I've seen that in there. But I'll find it. I will.
Okay.
I'm persistent, Your Honor. Thank you, though.
Yeah, well, that's how you got to where you are.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
Mhm.